Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexey, and today what we're gonna be doing is taking a look at new version of Hertz drums. So in this case we got new version of Hertz drums, which is 2.0. So first of all, let's start with our mixer. Now you can click on any drum or any cymbal to find it quickly in Hertz drums mixer. So for instance, if you want to work with snare, click on the snare, and you quickly will be switched to snare. If you want to work with toms, for instance, click here. And right now we're going to be working with our tom too. If you want to work with some cymbals, so here we have crash, splash, hi-hat. Again, you can click on kick, and in this case we got our kick left, kick right. So right now it will be much quicker to switch between drum instruments in Hertz drums mixer. Again, you can solo drums. For instance, you can solo your right click. You can mute your right click. You can pan your right click to the left or to the right. And here we have Allmax Follow Balance Panner button. And of course you can adjust your main fader. And here we have groups of our drums instruments. So here we have a group for our kicks, for our snares, for our toms, for our hi-hats, right, cymbals, and some additional drums. Also here we have overheads, room, and our drums reverb. Now let's go to our Hertz drums sampler, and here we have different Hertz drums samples. So for instance, if in our group selection we choose our kick, and we can choose from kick, snare, hi-hat, right, tom, crash, china, splash, and misc. So for instance, let's choose again our kick. So here in our drums kit, we can choose different samples for our kick. For instance, let's click on our first sample, and now we can load our instruments here. And right now, as our kick mic A, we have Osta 2414 from our red pack. So as you can see in our blue drums kit, we have red kick. Right now, let's try mic A, our second kick. First of all, let's click on our second kick sample, and then let's hit load instrument. And right now in our kick mic A section, we have Maple 22X18 kick from our red pack. Again, we can choose any sample kick from our B section. And right now in our kick mic B section, we have Japan Custom 22X18 kick from our red pack. And finally, let's try to choose some kick sample from our C section. So now in our kick mic C section, we have vintage 24X14 kick from our white pack. Then you can choose samples for your snare, for your hi-hat, for right, for toms, for crash, for china, for splash, or if you click here on sampler, the very first option in this menu, you can use your own samples. So here you can load your own sample of direct kick, for instance. Here you can load your own sample of overheads kick. Here you can load your own sample of room kick. Here you can load your own sample of kick reverb. Here you can load your own sample of kick sub, and here you can load your own kick of some effects. So here we have around 6 dynamic groups, and here we have 8 articulations. So for instance, you can set different dynamic groups for different articulations. For instance, for our articulations 2, we can set dynamic group 2. And here you can see velocity range. For instance, if we choose dynamic group 2 for our articulation 2, so right now our group 1 will be using velocity levels from 1 to 93, and our group 2 will be using velocity levels from 94 to 127. So for instance, we can use two different samples for our direct mics. So in this case, we can use some, let's say, kick direct 1 for our first group, and we can load, let's say, kick direct 2 for our second group. And in this case, our kick direct 1 will be using velocity levels from 1 to 93, and our kick direct 2 will be using velocity levels from 94 to 127. And if you want, we can use 6 groups for our articulation 2. So here we can load up to 6 different direct kicks, for instance. And each sample of our direct kick will be using different velocity levels for each group. Now let's go to our groups menu. So here we have styles to choose from, and we have funk, new metal, rock, not 4x4, and Darey. Darey is a signature drum spec of Dimmu Borgir's drummer. So here we have signatures 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, 9/4, 10/4, 11, 8, and 19, 16. And here we have tempo. So here we have different tempos to work with. For instance, let's try Darey 4/4 and 126 tempo. Here we have intros menu. And for instance, let's have a listen to our first intro. So first of all, we have to click on our first intro, and then we have to hit play button here. Now let's have a listen to our second intro. First of all, we have to click on our second intro, and then we have to hit our play button here. If you want to create your own drum pattern, and if you want to use this intro in your own drum pattern, so first of all you have to click here and then drag and drop, and right now you will have your intro MIDI file to work with. Then we have beats menu, and here we have hi-hat, ride, and mixed beats. So for instance, let's have a listen to our first hi-hat beat. Now let's have a listen to our ride beat. And let's have a listen to our mixed beat. Now let's have a listen to our MIDI file we got from our beats menu. Then we have fills menu, and here we can choose from snare, toms, and mixed fills. Let's have a listen to our snare fills. Now let's have a listen to our toms fills. Now let's have a listen to our snare toms fills. And finally, let's have a listen to our mixed fills. And again, you can drag and drop this MIDI file to your timeline to use it in your drums pattern. And finally we have ends menu. So let's have a listen to our first end. Let's have a listen to our second end. And let's have a listen to our third end. And again you can drag and drop this MIDI file to your timeline to use it in your drums pattern. Now let's have a listen to our whole drum pattern we created by using MIDI files from Hertz drums. And of course, in this case, you can adjust these MIDI files to create your own unique drum pattern for your rock and metal songs. Now let's go to our menu here, and here we can choose our drum kits. So, for instance, we can choose Big Studio from our Hertz drums white pack. Then we can choose Classic Metal preset from our blue pack. And right now we have blue drums here. Also from our red pack we can choose Core Metal preset. So now all of our drums are red, and let's have a listen to our Core Metal preset from our red pack. Now let's take a look at our audio routing menu. So here we have up to 16 audio channels we can choose from, and since we're in Studio One, let's open our mixer in Studio One, and here in Show Instrument Rack menu we have our Hertz drums in our Instruments menu. And if we click on our Hertz drums here, we can choose up to 16 audio channels to do our audio routing of our Hertz drums. So let's choose our 16 channels. So right now in our Studio One mixer, we got around 16 audio channels. And right now let's do some audio routing of our Hertz drums. So for instance, our left kick will be on the first channel, our kick right will be on the second channel, our snare will be on the third channel, our tom 1 will be on the fourth channel, our tom 2 will be on the fifth channel, and so on. So after our audio routing is done, let's open our Studio One mixer again. Now let's have a listen to our Hertz drums. So after our audio routing is done, now we can do some audio processing for our Hertz drums, and we can work with drums balance. And of course, it's better to name these audio tracks, to use original names from Hertz drums mixer, not to get confused in your Studio One mixer. Then we have MIDI routing menu, and here we have up to 8 articulations, and we can do some MIDI mapping for our drums instruments. We can change the mapping of our left kick. For instance, we can change from B0 to C1. And right now our left kick is mapped to C1. The same we can do about our right kick. We can change our right kick from C1, let's say, to C1 sharp. And the same we can do about our snare. We can change our snare from D1 to E1. The same we can do for all of our drums instruments. So here we have media mapping menu, and here we can choose presets from Addictive Drums 2, Easy Drummer 2, Get Good Drums Invasion, Groove Agent, Logic Pro X Drummer, Steven Slate Drums 5, and Superior Drummer 3. Also we can save as, load and clear presets. Now let's go to our audio and MIDI library packs. So here we can add our Hertz drums packs. And to add any of Hertz drums packs, we have to click here on this Add Library Plus button. And if you want to remove some Hertz drums packs, you can click on any of them here, and then you can click here this trash button to remove any library. Also we have size menu, so here we can change the size of our Hertz drums interface. And finally here we can load instrument, save instrument, load settings, save settings, and clear instrument. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you want to buy Hertz drums, the link will be in the info box of this video. And see you next time.